You just kept showing up. The first 2 weeks, I preached to no one. I preached to Patricia, which is pretty routine for me. But by the third week, all of a sudden, there were people here. And then the fourth week and the next week, and here we are. You kept coming back. Why did you come back? You came back because your heart cries out to be here. This is where you live and move and have your being. You came because you're not afraid. Because God takes care of all of us. The Lord brought us back, little by little, to worship, fellowship, ministry, Bible study, youth groups, and then this incredible week with 350 little kids running all over this place. The unanimous will of the people has expressed itself. Why not sooner? Predictions of death. Why now? Aren't we putting people in danger? The real danger in this world is spiritual, isn't it? But let's talk about that danger from the virus. 27 states have a higher death rate than California. 27 states. California has had about 8,300 persons die, and I just got this information from the state sources yesterday. 8,300 persons have died with COVID, not necessarily from it, but with it. At least that's what we're told. And for California, the California statistic is that's 21 people out of every 100,000. That means the death rate is 0.02. 99.98% of people will not die from this. But there's another statistic. Half of those people who died are over 80. So if you're under 80, you have a 99.99% chance that you're going to live through this whole thing. That just does not equate to the response this society has had. Now, 270,000 people in California, about 250,000, a little more than 250,000 die every year. 65,000 die of heart disease. 60,000 plus die of cancer. 16,000 die of stroke. 16,000 die of Alzheimer's. 14,000 die of respiratory illness. 10,000 die of diabetes. 5,000 die from liver illness. That's from last year. This year they're all going to be higher because the hospitals were shut down. $14,000 people die every year from accidents. 5,000 people from suicide, and that's going higher this year as well. How could they close the hospitals when these people are in jeopardy for something that can affect only 0.01% of the population? In the United States, by the way, alcohol kills 3 million people a year. And all the liquor stores were open. I know they were open because I couldn't get any Fresca. And when I wanted to get Fresca, you know what I was told? That all the aluminum is eaten up in beer cans. Fact. Because the bars aren't open, the beer producers are taking all the aluminum. I want my Fresca. So far this year, the death of 250,000 people can be traced back to smoking. Cigarettes are for sale. Alcohol's for sale everywhere. You can have all you want. You can have a run on alcohol to the point that it eats up the aluminum cans. Smoking kills 250,000 people. Cigarettes are available. By the way, the state had an interesting statistic. 441,000 kids under 18 will die prematurely from smoking. Almost 500,000 kids currently under 18 will someday die from smoking. Where's the ban on cigarettes? But here's the real issue. You know what the great killer in California is? I'll tell you what it is. The most deadly force in this state is death by medical people who do abortions. And I will give you the statistics of this state. 364 abortions a day. About 1 in 4 pregnancies in California ends in abortion. So every infant conceived has a 1 in 4 chance of never getting out of the womb. 88% of those abortions are with women who are not married. California has more abortions than any state in the United States. Taxpayer funded. On May 31st, 2019, Governor Newsom issued a proclamation. His proclamation was to let everyone know California's abortions were available to women from states where abortion was restricted. I'm quoting from his proclamation. California is welcoming women to come to fully exercise their reproductive rights as a model for other states to follow. We have more abortions than New York, New Jersey. We have more abortions than any state in America. Let me tell you something. Death by abortion outstrips every other kind of death. You could take all the cancer deaths and all the heart disease deaths, put them together, and they don't come to the killing of children in the womb. There's no moral high ground among leaders in this state. They've kept all the abortion clinics open. Through all these months, they've been deemed, along with the liquor stores, essential. So babies could continue to be slaughtered. But churches can't meet. This is the reality of a corrupt world. When babies have a 1 in 4 chance in our state of not even getting out of the womb. And hopefully, I guess, they would wish that the ones who do get out are politically correct. The slaughter is staggering. 900,000 in this country in a year. Almost 1 million babies. This is a direct assault on the creative work of God, isn't it? But God overrules that. And I believe, and I know you do, that He gathers those little ones into His arms. I wrote a book, if any of you are interested, called Safe in the Arms of God. The Lord overrules the efforts of the killers and gathers the little ones to Himself. Kill people with alcohol, kill people with cigarettes, kill people with diseases because the hospitals don't function. lock people up so that everybody's under stress and make sure churches can't meet, whereas the only place they could find hope and help. We will not bow to such bizarre standards. We'll follow our Lord and trust Him. In a case that went through the Supreme Court this week, Judge Alito was part of the minority opinion on whether churches could meet like casinos could meet. And his statement I thought was interesting. He said, the problem is no longer one of exigency, meaning a flu or a virus, but one of discriminatory treatment of places of worship. That from a member of the United States Supreme Court who sees it as nothing but discrimination. Some positive things coming out of this. The church always refines its convictions under duress. This is not a problem to be feared. This is a